science of living. First, let us do pranams to our father, mother, and guru, and all the saints and philosophers who have dedicated their life for the emancipation of mankind. From the time immemorial, the development of the consciousness is man is progressive, age to age, time to time, place to place. All the generations now, totally, when we understand, many fields of our life have been very much developed in the consciousness, in the understanding the law of nature. Only the very important science, the sexual knowledge, is left behind. All the sciences have been brought into the educational curriculum. People are able to know the techniques and science and philosophies. Only the sexual education is forgotten or neglected. It is left only with the will and fancy of the youngsters, and after they know the consequences, they cannot do anything. So the whole life is lost. Now the purpose of our course is to understand the value of the life, purpose of the life, and value of sexual vital fluid. That is very important for both mind and physical body. Suppose now, just imagine, the whole world, there are conflict between husband and wife, life partners, in many ways. But among them, if you understand, take a statistic, 60% of the conflicts are arising out of imbalance in the desire and sexual potency. Imbalance in the sexual potency and desire. Without knowing, automatically such a conflict develops in every family, and later on that becomes a very great problem in the life of the families. When husband and wife are not happy or harmonious and satisfied in their life, the progenies, sons and daughters, also are not getting on well mentally and physically. This problem gives a chain results in the family life, individual life, and also social life. I thought of this problem long before. In the life science, there are two ways. One is the traditional Veda path. Other is the practical Siddhanta path, which is called the Siddhas path. Siddhas path almost was developed in the South India only. Later on, it was spread to the countries such as China, Japan, and Middle East. They also, after several years, they forgot the value and the exercises which is very useful for the maintenance of the physical body and the mental function. Now the chaos and disturbances in the life of mankind is increasing because the basic Shakti, the basic power is exhausted or diverted or neglected. This practice is called Kayakalpa. The exercise followed for this Kayakalpa is called rejuvenation exercise. To withstand the aging process, one. To withstand the aging process means naturally man is getting age gradually in due course. Say, man is given 120 years. If he behaves well, lives in moderate enjoyment. When he goes beyond the moderation, see, neglecting or overindulgence or improper way of indulgence in the life, these activities disturb the natural rhythm in the body and mind. Then the life is becoming worthless or full of problems and miseries. In Siddha system, I have to explain the main difference in Veda system and Siddha system. In the Veda system also teaches the renunciation, that is achieving Godhood, becoming one with the God, realizing Brahman, realizing consciousness. The Siddha system also comes to the same goal, but the difference is in the Veda system you have to renounce, restrict, give up and give up, sacrifice. Like that it will take long time. It is a very strenuous work. The body is not mine. You have to practice and practice, neglecting the body and so on. Then the life force, life is not mine. It is not I. You have to practice and practice. The mind is not I. So, in this way, you have to leave everything. Finally, the Brahman is self. To bring to that end, it is very difficult for man. Almost is sacrificing only by vairagya. Siddha system. If in such a way a man attains the jnana or liberation, what will be the symptom or significances of his character? It is explained very well. I will tell after that. Then in the Siddha system, the same achievement is going with a natural way of living. You need not give up anything. Here it is teaching the system which is called a detached attachment. You can enjoy everything in life with moderation and detachment. Without getting involvement, you can use everything according to the necessity, according to the value, of everything. In such a way, the Siddha system is take you in short way to enjoy the family life and the same time to get the renunciation, that is a liberation of the soul. The Jnani who attained the perfection through the Veda system, the Jnani who attained the perfection through the Yoga system are very well understood by their way of living. The Veda system, there are three values, three principles or significances. Similarly, in Siddha system, the people who attained, they are having three significances. In Tamil, there is a sutra. Muttalagai, Palariyal, Unmatta. That is the under the Veda system, a man achieved what he will seem to be, just like a ghost. Ghost means without night and day, that will be going on, moving, working. Similarly, he will not sleep, he will not think of a sleep, always he will be working, just like ghost. Second is Valariya, just like a child. Everything about the sex, about money, about everything, just like a child, he will be behaving with others and with the world. Pattalagai Palariyal. Unmatta. For others, he seems to be mad. He is a madman. Just he is not dull in mind. Just like that. Although he is getting perfection, he got the perfection. He is in the jnana. But for others, these all are the symptoms. But Siddha system is not like that. Magil Bhogam, Eedal, Iravamai என்று 3. Enjoying the life to the full extent without renouncing or restricting anything, but in moderation, with full understanding and full detachment. This is Magil Bhogam, Eedal. Always he will be in a position to help others. Helping is Eedal, charity. Iravamai. Never, if he practices the Siddha system, finally he will not die. That means the life force will not get away from the body. So that he may live 100 years, 150 years. Then he doesn't want to live. He got perfection. So he suspends the function of the mental function and then finishes. There, the body will not get decay. So the Siddhas, such a way, those Siddhas who they suspended their life, they were buried under the ground and some temples were raised. Among them there are 18 temples in South India, including the Tirupati Venkatesa. I think the name of the Rishi is Kungana. In such a way, every Palani, Vaidiswaran Koil, and Tiruparangondam, like that, every place, one Siddha was buried and he got Samadhi. In such a way, many people got that kind of death. They will not die by natural force or anyway. Only willful, yes, I have enjoyed the life. This is enough. There is one simple practice for them. Just like the animals are shaking some kind of muscles in every part of the body. Similarly, they can squeeze the art by practice. In that practice, that will be very much enjoyable, ecstasy, and finally, within 7 days or 8 days meditation, the heart will stop. The life will not go, there will be no death, there will be no excretion of sexual vital fluid, so that the body will remain even 1,000 years. That is the polar attraction of the cells will remain intact. Therefore, the decay will not be there. That is the process of Siddhas. So that in the whole life, Siddha system will allow you to enjoy everything without a restriction or giving up or renunciation. Siddha system does not tell you about a renunciation. It's only a realization. So, realization comes first. Automatically renunciation comes into being. In Veda system, first renunciation, then realization. This is the difference. Now what we are doing, this Kundalini Yoga, this is a Siddha system. Shortcut. It is aroused from Mooladhara with the master, and then he starts from that. The peak of the Kundalini Yoga is the rejuvenation or withstanding the aging process, not to die. At the same time, not to be affected by diseases in the old age. Not only in the old age, even during the other period of life. Then how? Now I have to explain you about the anatomy of the body and how our body is functioning and what happens, what causes the aging process. In our body, I have written here, there are 5 layers. One is physical structure. Physical structure is, there are 7 tadus. Rasa, Ratta, Mamsa, Medai, Asti, Majja, Shukla. That means rasa, juice. Then blood. A portion of the blood is made into flesh. A portion of the flesh is made into fat. A portion of the fat is made into bone and marrow. From the marrow, the essence is taken as sexual vital fluid. From the sexual vital fluid, an oxidized power, which is called ectoplasm, or otherwise ojas. In the Eastern philosophy, it is called ojas. Western science, the same is called ectoplasm. So that is the essence of sexual vital fluid. Now, if you understand the solid body is a structure of all the 7 tissues. Rasa, Ratta, Mamsam, Medai, Asti, Majja, Shukla. Every tissue is having cellular arrangement. Cells are attracting one another by polar attraction, so the whole body is constructed. The structure of the body is remaining only by the polar attraction, so the arrangement stands always as it is. For polar attraction, what is required? Biomagnetism. A magnetic force fully is required. So what is the weight of the body? That much the intensity of biocurrent is necessary to the body. When the biocurrent is becoming less, the cells arrangement is disturbed. When the cells arrangement is disturbed, the blood circulation, heat circulation, air circulation, all the three are getting disturbed. So the life force, when it is running, it gets stuck up and the biocurrent becomes short circuit. The short circuit is pain. What we feel pain, that is the short circuit of our own biomagnetism. When small and a short time is the short circuit, it is called pain. When it spreads to the greater area and stays for longer time, such as 1 day, 2 days, 3 days or months, that is called disease. The same short circuit exhausts our energy more and more. Then it depletes our energy below the minimum critical level, so that the whole metabolic routine fail. That is the disease, the death. So pain, disease, death, all the three are caused only by the short circuit or very decrease of the biomagnetism in our body. Now we come to the second blood. These all are cells. Blood and heat is the electrical function. When the biomagnetism is taken by these nerve cells, then it converts into heat, maintains such a heat so that blood circulation is very good. Then the air. Oxygen is, we are inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide. All the burnt things are taken out, replacing the oxygen, therefore the body is maintained. These three are the media between the solid body and the energy, that is a life force. Life force is the Sukma Sharir, this is Sthula Sharir. In between Sukma Sharir and Sthula Sharir, these three are media. These three are disturbed, this is obstructed, so the life force gets a short circuit. The biocurrent, which is, what is biocurrent? The life force in our body is a group of millions and millions of smallest tiny particles. In our scriptures, the life force is described very well. If you take a hair of a cow, what is the thickness? Up to the thickness, you cut the length also. Then there will be a shadram or a square. You make the square into 1 crore parts. Then every part, if you make it into 1 crore, what will be the volume? That is the life force particle. It is very well clearly written. What is life force? What is the volume of the life force particle? What is called Chitakash, Akash particle. It is, explain this. You take the hair of the cow and cut it into square and make 1 crore part. And again you make the single part into 1 crore. That is the volume. So such a tiny particle which self-rotative force is working within us as a Sukma Sharir or life force. This life force, because of self-rotative force, radiates a spreading wave every particle. The whole life force in such a way radiates the life force. The intensity of the wave is called biomagnetism. The wave which is created by the life force, that is called biomagnetism or human magnetism, like that. Jivakanda Shakti in Tamil. So that is the biomagnetism. Alright, when you want to have a stock of biomagnetism in such intensity, you want corresponding number of the life force particles, otherwise you cannot get. When you want to maintain the life force particle in such a quantity, the sexual vital fluid is necessary. Sexual vital fluid is the container that only holds the life force particle. What is the quantity and quality of the sexual vital fluid? That is the quantity and quality of the life force particles. When the sexual vital fluid is gone or exhausted, to that extent life force also will be exhausted. When the life force is depleted more and more, sexual vital fluid is depleted more and more, what will happen? The biocurrent will become less and less. It cannot. In the biocurrent, one part is taken by the metabolic routine, by the physical body, and all the functions, digestion, elimination, and all the replacement, everything is going on. A portion of the biocurrent is taken by the brain cell, that is conditioning the mental frequency. So, for mind and for body, both, biocurrent is the main Shakti, main energy in the body. So, we have to maintain the biocurrent fully. When the biocurrent becomes decreased or exhausted, then only all the disturbance in the body comes into being. When the biocurrent is exhausted, what happens? The polar attraction between the cells are becoming slow or less. When the polar attraction is less, the cells are deranged. The arrangement has gone, so blood circulation, air circulation, heat circulation, all are disturbed. So now you understand the value of the sexual vital fluid. Sexual vital fluid, for man it is called semen. For ladies it is called nadam, bindu nadam. So both are same, only in the sex difference. So when you want to enjoy the life fully to the perfection, we have to maintain the sexual vital fluid sufficiently in stock. Then only we can maintain the health and body very well. Now, how the aging process comes? Now we have to come to the science. Every day the earth is rotating 24 hours, one rotation. That means 24,000, 1,000 miles per hour earth rotates. By that the centrifugal action comes into the earth. Because of the centrifugal action of the earth, heavier things are drawn in, lighter things are thrown out in such a way, heavier, lighter, the arrangement is coming. So the whole solid is in the middle, and the second is the water. Water is on the surface. The third is the air. Air is on the surface of the earth. And then energy. In such a way it is arranged. So the Body also is having the same. Here is a man standing. See, he is standing. When the earth rotates, everything is pulled inside because of that. So the solid body, all the cells are pulled towards the earth. All the cells are heavier, physical, so they are pulled more towards the earth. Then the life force is lighter, it is thrown out. So, because of the earth attraction, the physical body is drawn towards the earth, the life force is thrown out, so it is making separation. Every round, it making separation, the force. But because of the several generation, every man is having some immunity towards the separation. So the immunity is given 100 years now. Generally, 100 years immunity is there. After 100 years, it will stand. But at the same time, we have to maintain the polar attraction in the cells. How to maintain? Then there are two ways. One is toning up of nerves. One. Second is recycling of sexual vital fluid. The two processes are necessary. One is toning up. By toning up the nerve system, the contraction, building up to withstand the pulling up of the cells by the earth. It works against that. Then by recycling, what happens? You are increasing more and more stock of vital fluid, so that more and more energy is supplied, even though some energy is thrown out. Recycling, or what is called stock, is always maintained well. If these two processes are practiced, never a man will die. The old age may come, the shrinking of the skin, or energy, or health, or vitality never will be exhausted. So this is called Kayakalpa. Kaya means body. Physical body is Kaya. Kalpa means immortal. Kayakalpa, immortal. These two practices were found by Siddhas, and they were giving to very important persons. In olden days, in our country, the kings were having the opportunity of the experts in their aranmana. So they were teaching this method to them only. So some of the kings were able to enjoy many wives in those days. In Middle East, in the time of Muhammad Nabi, when the crisis came, before that he was traveling in India and Tibet and all that, he learned yoga very well, particularly the Siddha Yoga, he was expert. Therefore, even Christ was expert in Siddha Yoga. Therefore, he was able to, when the purification came, at once he went to that state of samadhi, and whatever the nail and other things, he got nothing of the pain. And then after he was buried, third day, when the people with curiosity opened, he was alive. Suddenly on that day only they killed him. He did not expect this. So then only he was killed. Such was the death of Christ. But they were practicing all these things. And then Muhammad Nabi, there was a crisis. There was a war. Most of the men were killed. Only ladies were remained in their country. Then that was the social problem. Then he taught this method to men and allowed 4 girls to be married. So this was going on. So even when I teach this, you can understand 1 or 2 methods are in their prayer. They are included, but the important technique is lost. There is one technique. The technique is lost in their prayer also. So in this way, they were able to manage. Nowadays, I think only few. I heard about one man in Middle East. He was having some kind of a cancer and died in USA. What is the name of the man? King Shah. Shah was having such wonderful technique, but he misused, and then he got the political problem and all that. Then only he got into that trouble. Otherwise, he would not have got into that trouble and disease at all. So this is now we are going to learn 2 important exercises. One exercise is tone up the nerves. There are 72 nerves in the body. All the nerves are carrying the electricity, that is from the biocurrent, the electricity heat. The heat is spread only through the nerve system. So there is one practice. When you do it in several postures, the whole nerve system from the top to toe, all the nerves are toned up. Whereas it may take 6 months or so completely to spread the energy into the what is called disturbed parts. But if you are already healthy, at once it will start functioning. Otherwise, gradually it will pump up and make all the cells arrange and the polar attraction, then start functioning well within 6 months or so. One is the toning up of the nerve. Other process is recycling of the sexual vital fluid. Again, I have to explain one thing. See, this is a man. Here is the sexual gland. This is the brain. Brain is marrow. The 7 tadus say brain is the marrow. Marrow is the brain. So from the marrow, semen produced. Here only manufacture of semen or sexual vital fluid occurs. After supply required supply is taken, then the waste or excess is brought here to the sexual gland. From here, the overflow should be exhausted. This is a sexual gland. So here what happens, if it is thin enough or in the earlier age, automatically overflow. The leaking tendency because of the earth attraction from the solid, liquid is having some more force going downwards. So that is leaking tendency comes. The leaking tendency of the sexual vital fluid in the gland gives sexual instinct. Alright. When the overflow is exhausted, this is alright. If over-exhaustion is given without understanding the value, the thickness of the sexual vital fluid becomes thin and thin and thin and thin. Over and over, the leaking tendency comes, and over enjoyment, then he becomes worthless. Finally, many kinds of diseases are coming. Here, the recycling method is some of the vital fluid parts are made into gaseous, that is evaporation, evaporating. The making evaporation, that is taken again here and made here. So when you recycle it and the evaporated sexual vital fluid is taken here and travels here and here, gradually the thinness is becoming thick and thick and thick and thick, and here the stagnation will be more. At the same time, it will not be with a leaking tendency. Leaking tendency will be less. By this, sexual potency will increase more and more, but instinct or urge will be controllable. Because of the uncontrollable leaking tendency, there are so many difficulties in man. This is one. Therefore, what we do, two exercises. One is toning up of nerve system. Other is recycling of sexual vital fluid. Now I am going to give these two exercises. Very simple. All may please sit in the kneeling posture. Vajrasana, yes. Vajrasana.
Only those who cannot do this kneeling posture.
You have to sit on the chair. You take this chair. இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் தள்ளி வச்சுட்டுனா பின்னால் இருக்கிறவங்க மறைக்காத. I think it is simple. Ashwani Mudra, it is known to all, but nobody knows the value of it. Every practice and everything, they are including this also. But without knowing the philosophy and science they are using, it is a neglectful action. Now I will tell you. Just contract.
Thumb also, here also.
Yes, you can, all right, you can keep close with a touch, all right.
Right.
Right over left.
It will be left here.
Here, you contract the anus and release. That is asana. You have to bind or rectum muscles. Contract the rectum muscles, leave it. As cows are doing their anus after excreting the dung, just like this. Similar to that, just to do the contraction and leave. The sequence may be like this. I give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. 10 times you have to do the contraction and expansion. That is release. This is called Ashwani Mudra. It is famous in our yoga system. Each contraction binds the whole nerve system, but there are some postures. Here, some nerves are not activated because of the posture. If you do all the postures, all the nerves, even the smallest nerves, are getting the activation. And now we have finished. The recycling of the vital fluid is this. First, you curl the tongue upward. That is, fold the tongue and close the mouth. Now contract the anus. Now you think oxygen, sexual vital fluid, life force and mind, all the four from the Mooladhara you draw towards the vertebra and bring it and keep it here. Then release the tongue, release the breath. Now you see what I am doing, how I am doing. Now I curl the tongue. You don't do now. I curl the tongue and bind the anus. Releasing the tongue, releasing the breath through the mouth. Now you try. Curl the tongue and bind the anus. Draw the breath. Mind, breath, life force and vital fluid. All the four, you have to imagine, all the four are coming through the vertebra. You can feel within 2 days the vertebra and keep it here. Three times you do.
Swamiji, how to curl the tongue?
I told you to fold the tongue up.
Backward. Try to touch.
Just
touch the small tongue.
the end of the end. Within 3 times you will feel the whole energy in the body is activated. You feel happy and don't strain too much.
While exhaling also the tongue should be released.
Exhaling, tongue should be released. Breath should be released. Asana should be released. Now you take one minute rest. I will tell again. Evening, we are going to learn all the other postures and how to implement in day-to-day life.
Swami, while exhaling, you feel here
Contraction, but you don't do such a strenuous work. Just relax everything in the body. What I am doing is, if you want to see my stomach, you can also.